This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
It's 11:07 at WPSL 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast. And you're on Never Alone from Harbor Place. And a very pleasant good morning, Ms. Candy.
Good morning. How are you doing?
We're doing fine. What's up in your world?
Well, we have a lot going on. I'd like to introduce Tom Scott. He is with us. He is a realtor with Keller Williams. So Tom, how are you doing this morning?
Doing fantastic. You know, having two full-time jobs, as they say. I'm staying very busy. Of course, I'm also the president for Treasure Coast Advocate for Seniors, and we are on the move with that too.
Very nice.
That's amazing. So what is the Treasure Coast Advocacy for Seniors?
Well, what this is a group of individuals that are solely volunteers, have full-time jobs. We meet once a month. We have meetings. We bring in doctors and people from hospitals and you name it, Alzheimer's research, you name it, veterans. And so we bring these people in and we provide breakfast and we give them all that information. And then they have people on site, like a doctor or whoever it is. And at that point, what they do is they have a chance to be face-to-face with them before and after the meeting. We have one this Thursday, and we're actually going live to the world, our first time. And again, we've been around for 15 years. I've been involved for, just a few years, and they voted me in as president. And Catherine Griffin is our vice president, and she's got a plethora of knowledge with the medical industry. So we're here to help people. We're a little bit old school, as you help people first, and then hopefully they come back and they may do business with you. If not, we're here to help people.
So by saying the way you said it, are you going to be streaming this?
Oh, absolutely. That's going to happen this Thursday, just a few days. I have a tech coming in to set everything up. We have all the equipment. We meet at the community center on Aruso. You can check us out because we have a brand new website. I monitor that and help produce that. Same thing with Facebook, and we're everywhere. You can also catch a lot of our stuff on the Great Scott Group and or Facebook, Instagram, Tom Scott. So if you want to see most of everything, that sort of creates a triangle. And what I mean by that triangle is that if you put your hands up and your four fingers and your thumbs, you create a little triangle. So the top of that is SRES, which is Seniors Real Estate Specialist. The bottom right side is Treasure Coast Advocate for Seniors. And then you can see how the real estate all comes together. And it comes together to help our people. And I can give you massive examples. So Thursday, we're sponsoring the food. My wife and I, Mary Scott, and we're the Great Scott Group at Keller Williams, Port St. Lucie. And what we'll do at this point is I'll have a chance to give some examples where we helped some seniors recently where you just won't believe the stories and what we did for them, and personally worked like 2 weeks on a house, even did after we got the house ready for sale, did the landscaping for them. We paid for it out of our pockets, and we're here again as senior representatives, not only for real estate, but for our group.
Well, that sounds great. Now, Candy needs to talk to you about moving your meetings to Harbor Place. I mean, come
Right. That would
Let's
be fantastic.
Yeah, now we have had some events at Harbor Place, and that is a phenomenal place, location, and the staff there was just out of this world. We had a great time.
I'm so glad to hear that. We got to get those meetings started back up.
Yes, I hear you.
And you talk about coming out to the world in a way. We just got more of our streaming numbers from our company in Illinois that does that for us. We're getting it right now. At this moment, we're getting into 64 countries. with WPSL Radio. Our basketball, that will be on later today, will probably almost reach 90. I think we hit 88 the other day worldwide. So, yeah, the word's getting out. Little Port St. Lucie is no longer a secret in the world.
No,
It
it
is
sure
finally on
isn't.
the map.
Yes. And, I just saw a report that came out. I have it out on my Tom Scott Facebook site. And it talks that Florida now is back through, and again, everybody has their own surveys. But one of the places that NerdWallet had a bunch of information that they showed today, it came out today or yesterday, could have been yesterday, and we are now overall the #1 place to retire again. So, which was really, really neat. So again, I've got that information. I don't have it in front of me because I'm trying to put my best foot forward here. And it's on Tom Scott Facebook site, and I put it there, and I will put it everywhere else. But I was trying to prepare, and I saw this great information. I got it out there. I was trying to prepare for this. And I started around 4 this morning. So,
wow, that's 4.
yes.
What are you doing up at 4?
Well, I walked the dog, and then I started seeing all these things that help everyone here, right, in Florida. And I says, well, I better get that information out.
Wow, that's good stuff. That really is. Well, Candy, this sounds like this is right up your alley here.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to meet with you, Tom, and we can discuss some things and we can put some collaborations together and to see what we can do to network.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. So, and if you get some of your people, if you have anybody available, get them to our meeting this Thursday at 8:30, and we'll network it for about a half hour. Then we have a great meeting. And this week we're going to actually have St. Lucie County Food Bank.
Oh,
And
nice.
I knew a lot about them, but I had no idea with the depth of information I got in the last week. They are just unbelievable. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, they're right down the street from us. They're on Angle Road. So yeah, they're amazing people, and they work with us on the WPSL Christmas Kids program.
Yeah, they're actually going to talk about a seniors program to help people. So I can't wait to hear about it and have them there
When are they doing that?
this Thursday,
It's
8:30.
Thursday.
Starts at 9.
Yeah.
That sounds great. And it's at the Port St. Lucie Community Center, which, if folks don't know, it's right across from City Hall. It's our original convention center, if you will.
Yeah, it's great. We got the first room right there as soon as you walk in, and it's, the staff there is fantastic. The location's phenomenal, and there's plenty of parking. And then if you're still hungry, then there's plenty of restaurants within walking distance, so you can go right out and double up on your breakfast.
Boy, sounds good to me. If there's food, working press, where's the food? That was our mantra in Los Angeles.
These meetings are open to all the public, anybody. So we want anybody to come. And it doesn't matter if you're a senior or not, because you can get information to the seniors, or we know about programs, and there's a lot of health related people that run companies and are part of companies that can give you tremendous amounts of information. And we like to enjoy and give that, because example, just not the seniors that my team, my wife and I, we've been married 52 years. We got married when we were 8. I'm just kidding. But and so there's information like programs that are out there that get extra money, and supposedly there's more money coming in Florida. And you all know about the insurance issues with prices, and you also know about, and again, this is a real estate side, but it helps everybody. And then they have supposedly approved another $175 million for a safe home in Florida. So I don't know if you know about that program, but that program is, say for instance, you need a roof, and you use one of their qualified vendors, and they have tons. So, you're not limited to 1 or 2. What'll happen is, let's say the roof costs you $15,000, right? of course, you got to pay for it up front. You got to get it done. In most cases, you need it anyway. And of course, you're hoping it's going to reduce your insurance, and usually does, right? So out of the 15,000, you take care of 5 and they cut you a check back for $10,000. So that's happening. They ran out of money last year, but this is the beginning of the year. So the people that like those big checks coming into their household, look into that program. So Safe Florida program. It's fantastic.
And it's a statewide program, right?
Correct. So if you have impact windows, but you need sliding doors or something, it takes care of all that stuff. Maybe you need some construction. Now, again, I'm not the expert on it. I just heard about this recently. I started spreading the news. Again, I've been putting this on Great Scott Group Facebook site, also the Tom Scott Facebook site. I personally run about 5 of them, plus Instagram and X, and keep going. I do all of that stuff. Very high tech, and I love doing that, and I love sharing that information. So even if you're not looking to get senior help and you're not looking to purchase or sell a home, call us, because I should know of someone that can get an answer for you.
Wow, that sounds great. That's phenomenal. Now, are your meetings monthly?
Yeah, monthly, Monday, or excuse me, January through October, and in November, of course, we're pardoning the turkeys, right? And then we have the holidays in December. But we do have a holiday party that was a massive success there. We had it at the same location, and we had probably double the amount of people that we had the previous year. It was phenomenal. And we haven't even gone live. We haven't done a lot of the things that will get our word out. Now, one important thing that happened recently, we are now a 501c3 with the government. Okay, nonprofit. So guess where all the money goes? To our seniors. And we also just made an electronic form on our website for Treasure Coast Advocate for Seniors, known as TCAS, for senior assistance money. And we have given money out the end of last year to specific groups, and they divided it up and gave it to our seniors in need. So, we're looking to get some federal grants, Florida grants, and, we're looking to do that. And you can tell how serious we are about this. So I'm talking more about that than I am the real estate side, right? But, and we enjoy doing that too, helping people with the real estate. And we're finding out there's a lot of situations where, people are having hard times, and, they're coming to places like Harbor Place or other places, right? And, they're having to, getting a little bit older. I'm not, but I hope not. But, that kind of stuff is happening, and they really need some assistance. And of course, they're hoping to stay in their homes, but, that doesn't last forever,
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, well, Candy's furnishing my room right now.
Nah, gotcha.
Got you a nice suite.
Well, why are you going in there and you're only around 50 years old? So I don't understand that, but.
That's all right, pushing 80, but that's okay.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
I hear you. So I hear you.
Wow, that sounds good. We have what is it? I can't remember. It's a seniors organization through the state attorney, and Marty Jacobson, who's a former Stewart police officer, and we knew Marty back in the heyday back in the 70s, and when he was at San Diego Police Department. And Marty is part of the group that is into solving senior scams, and he'd be a great speaker for you.
We had the sheriff's department come into where I live in Vidalia, and we had a 2.5-hour meeting. The mayor was there, and she was really prepared. She talked nonstop about an hour and 10 minutes. Took a lot of questions, talked about the growth, what they're doing with the roads, all the areas, new schools coming in, the affordability of housing. I mean, she really got into it. But the sheriff talked about, this is the 5th year in a row that at a population 100,000 plus, Port St. Lucie is the safest place in Florida.
Oh, it has had that title for over 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as the population grows, the stats change. And he kept going because of the growth. We still are the safest place in Florida.
That's great news.
Oh,
I didn't know
phenomenal.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
It is, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And you know, if Dr. Jerry Parrish is correct with the Florida scorecard, we haven't seen any growth yet. He's got us at 790,000 in Port St. Lucie by 2040. Now the city thinks that's a little aggressive, but maybe by 2050 that's going to be accurate.
Yeah,
Port
yeah,
St. Lucie, yeah.
yeah, they're saying in 5 years it'll be 400,000, but I think
Oh, easy.
I think it's low.
Oh, well, you've got what?
260 in the county right now.
Well, but it's 85,000 rooftops are already in the permit stage in tradition alone. So
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
oh yeah, it's
There
400 is conservative.
No, I know. You know, it was some pretty good information recently, and it'll help, again, Harbor Place, and it'll also help individuals. One of the things that's going on, as you know, that children are staying longer at home. Okay. And of course, you know, they want to work from home. They want to get a six-figure job, you know, working probably just a few days a week, right? And but what's going on, if you think about way the houses are in our area, they're not like they are up north. You know, I'm from 1967. I moved to New Hampshire. I met my wife, and a few months later we were married, right? And so you don't have the kind of houses that are built that maybe have 2 master bedrooms on the first floor, have the ability in a corner somewhere, you can have an elevator going to a second floor, right? So elderly moving into those. And most of these builders, and we go to meetings almost every single day somewhere in the area. I put about 15,000 miles a year in Port St. Lucie. And
Wow.
so, you know, we're looking at everything all the time. And so they don't have that, and they don't even really have it in the works, because, you know, to get permits and to make this work and make it work in a community, that doesn't happen in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So what's going to happen is people, you know, are going to stay on the trend for a while, and for the next 4 or 5 years, you know, the doors at Harbor Place will be swinging back and forth, right?
Exactly. I'm all for it.
Well, Candy, just tell us what exactly is happening at Harbor Place in the next couple of weeks or so.
We have a sweetheart dance party for February the 13th in our independent living area at 3:30 p.m. We have it's going to be really fun. It's going to be nice. We're going to have some great entertainment. And on February 12th, our assistant living building will have a Valentine's sweetheart party as well. And then February 20th, we have Dr. Watson coming at 2 p.m. to speak about Alzheimer's dementia and the progression of it, and just providing us some information on that sad, incurable disease that many of our seniors live with every day. And also, I am in the process of introducing a new podiatrist to our community, and that will be at February 7th. His name is Dr. Norris. I've had him in my other buildings before. He is phenomenal. He offers a multitude of services, and he's one of the few podiatrists that can provide wound care as well. So we will have a meet and greet with him on February 7th at 2 p.m.
Oh, wow. So now where is he based? Because obviously our feet become a little issue as we get a little older as well.
Yes, he is based out of Miami, but he has a few buildings from Miami all the way up to Palm Bay.
Okay.
He has a great team. So he will be here in this area. Most of his team are down in Miami and Palm Bay, but he mostly services the Port St. Lucie and Vero Beach area.
Nice, nice. So that's Feb 7?
February 7th at 2 p.m., a meet and greet with Dr. Norris.
That's great. That sounds great. Well, that
Yeah.
sweetheart dance is kind of nice, you know? That's
It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
yeah.
And we're also I'm in the works of putting something together for the Super Bowl for our residents. I think we're going to do a tailgate week where the staff will dress up in their favorite jersey all week, no matter if it's football, baseball, basketball. It'll be a sports week, and then we will tailgate all the way up into Super Bowl Sunday.
Great. That's awesome. Of course, because of the licensing, we're not allowed to say Super Bowl in our promos, according to
Okay,
our Washington, D.C. law firm. We just call it the big game.
the big game,
Now you can do that because you're not
Super
broadcasting.
Bowl, the Super Bowl. We're going to have a
I
Super
don't
Bowl
think I've
party.
ever missed a Super Bowl.
You don't think
Yeah.
you've ever missed a Super Bowl?
Oh, I've been to some, yeah.
Oh,
Phenomenal.
okay.
Yeah, phenomenal. I was very lucky, and I went to one in Atlanta, and it was phenomenal. Just unbelievable.
I've never been to a Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
The end of that Super Bowl, it ended with the opposing team finishing and getting stopped on the 1 yard line to lose.
Oh, wow.
I'll never forget that.
I know nothing about football. Nothing.
Well,
Well,
then you,
the next time I stop over, I'll give you. I'll
I
take
just
care.
know, I feel like it, I know about the touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and I don't know. I think that's it.
that's all you need to know. And actually, Candy, what's really fun about covering the Super Bowl, as a sports reporter, if you will, is watching a lot of, especially the foreign reporters come in, because that's a huge worldwide event, and the press day is hysterical. You'll get some of the craziest questions and that are totally not related, and these people obviously aren't into the sport. So it's very funny, and we used to put the best of the worst questions together in the various places that I covered. I think I covered 12 or 15 of them. So yeah, it's an amazing spectacle if you're into big events. But knowing a lot of guys who are former FBI agents who work in NFL security, it is a major, major security headache, as you can
I'm sure.
well imagine.
Imagine even more so today.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure.
I can't even comprehend it today. I mean, the fella who was that I knew with the LA Rams years ago went on to the NFL league office, and he was a 25-year vet of the FBI, and he was talking about some of the stuff that had been quashed in some of the Super Bowls that I had covered, which obviously we never knew anything about. Yeah, it's
Wow.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. People try to disrupt it. We did have a caller a little bit earlier who talked about it, and we all were talking about the growth. And he had a question. In a hurricane, there's only 3 ways to get out of South Florida: Turnpike, 95, US 1. What are we planning to do? It's a real good question. It's
true.
yeah, it's a valid one, especially when you have a state as long as ours.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
I can give you a short story, a 30-second story. We're in New England on vacation, rented a nice place, 4-bedroom place, so everybody can come and visit in and out for a week. And a hurricane came through in New England, Hurricane
Ooh.
Bob. And we almost rented a place on the water, but we were 1 block off. Well, we left in the middle of the night, and that's where I'm going with this. What do you do to get out? And what had happened was when we did come back, the place that we were going to rent was gone. And a boat was
Whoa.
sitting on the foundation. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So-
my goodness.
So why did we wait 12 hours before it was going to hit is my point. Okay, that's the first point. So, you know, do you have a relative in Carolinas? Do you have one in Texas? Do you have one in wherever? And you know how to get a hold of a hotel. There's an old joke about having a lot of relatives come and visit you and you go, I don't have the room, but that's why they have hotels. And so, you know, thinking about that is, you know, you need to prepare. So you got to prepare your house or your people. And there's my real estate hat again, right? And at that point, and so some of the things that you look for, and a lot of people don't think about it. You know, they'll purchase a stick home, they call them down here. They'll buy a house that doesn't have good storm protection. Of course, now with insurance, that's a problem, right? Because of, you know, insurance rates and everything. And you know, the roof situation and, you know, again, impact windows, impact doors, you know, the hurricane shutters, you know, accordion hurricane shutters, the list goes on. They have Mylar now that goes over, instead of putting on these metal things, they have Mylar that anybody could put on. They're very easy to roll, basically like a little rug and you know, or a little carpet or whatever, you put it on your window. So prepare your house. 1, 2 is don't wait 1 or 2 days before it might hit. You know, because the roads could be tied up.
Yeah. And
many-
the beauty of hurricanes is that you do get advance warning, unlike what we have in California. And, you know, having lived through the San Francisco earthquake of '87 when I was covering the World Series, that was an experience. And there's no warning with those. That's the beauty of hurricanes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, prepare your house, prepare yourself, prepare your friends, count on each other. You know, I bought a generator, does a whole house generator that, you know, you walk it out and it's not one that's attached to the house, but it runs off propane or gas or whatever you want. Haven't used it once in almost 6 years, not even once. So, you know, when you move into a area, does it have underground utilities? Okay, you know, those are the things that you look for. Those things you can ask, even if you're not purchasing from our location, Keller Williams or us. Call us anyway. We're going to tell you the way it is, and we're going to tell you the stuff to look for. And you know, if you're getting ready to purchase somewhere else, we also, just to add to that, we sell a lot of houses, and we had a gentleman down here that wound up passing. His wife passed, and he needed to sell a house up in Connecticut on the water. So we connected with a realtor and had that, you know, because again, we're senior real estate specialists. We helped them and we did that. And then we did the same thing down here to move a house. And then of course they went into assisted living. So by the way, that was before I knew about Harbor Place. You know, I would definitely gave him a car ride over there. So, and, you know, Tom Uber, right? So anyway, you know, we do that all over the world, by the way, and we can track and help people, even if we're not selling a house for them. And that's, again, being a seniors real estate specialist, because you can tell how passionate we are about it.
Yeah,
We like helping people.
that's great. Candy, did you ever experience a hurricane up in the Charlotte area?
No, I believe Hurricane Matthew, I believe that was 2016. We got some remnants of it. Or 2017, I can't remember. I moved down here right after that hurricane in 2017 that I think it came in September. I don't remember the name of it, but I moved down here like the month later. But no, we have always just gotten remnants. I wasn't around for Hurricane Hugo in Charlotte. I do
Oh,
remember
You're
my
too
family
young for
talking.
that. You're definitely too young for
Well, I was alive, but we were living in West Virginia at that time.
that.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, it's especially areas of Charlotte that I know that are near like Queens University and stuff like that downtown. Uh, I would imagine trees are a real problem in a big.
Yeah, in Charlotte, we mainly, we would have some winters of ice. We would get ice storms, and it would just rain ice, and the trees, the power lines would fall. And sometimes we got maybe a dusting of snow every other year. But there was one year when I was working for another assistant living community. It was snowing, and at that time, that was probably, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. And I was an aide at that time. And so I went home and I got my clothes and I came back to work because I knew we were getting ready to have it. And we got 18 inches that year. And I was at work for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I worked all 3 floors, giving showers and making sure the residents had their medications and assisting with meals, doing the whole serving all the residents by myself in the dementia unit. So, you know, it was an experience, and I'm glad I was there because I was one of the few that were able to be there.
Well, it sounded like you were one of the people that made a difference.
Wow. What a story.
Thank you.
Yeah, really. It's that's amazing. And that's one of those against all odds stories too, that you know, you
Oh, yeah.
had so many people to take care of.
Yeah, it was a lot, and but it had to be done, and there was nothing to think about. You just do it, you know, and that's, you know, I tell my staff the same thing. You know, we just get in there and we just do our job, and uh, you know, there's going to be surprises every day. You know, that's the beauty of working with seniors. It's never a dull moment, you know.
Yeah, Candy, Tom just touched on generators, and I know the one big thing about Harbor Place is that your place is a fortress, and you are generator. You do have generator backup. Now,
Yes,
the
we
good thing about Harbor Place, and a lot of, I'm sure most people don't know this, you're on the hospital grid.
yes, we
So,
are.
so if anything happens, the hospital will get
first.
power first.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
will we.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So that's yet another feather in your cap at Harbor Place.
Exactly.
Well, and by the way, not only do they have the generator, which allows them to be able to cook, and their food there is phenomenal. So, you know, again, if you know, we're in a point of bad weather, go to Harbor Place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll feed you.
And just say Candy sent me.
Yeah. You know,
I have candy on my apron. I'll be cooking.
I was speaking with the residents, I believe it was last Thursday, and in the assistant living part of the community, we were having a resident town hall meeting. And what those consist of, we talk about every department, what they would like to see more of, or what do they want to see changed. And when we got to dietary, they spoke of the meal. They said the lunch that we had today. And I honestly got afraid for the first time because what they had for lunch was not appealing to me, but they all raved about it. And they had, I think one of the options was a liverwurst sandwich. Yeah,
I used to eat those.
and they loved it, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "What? This was an option?" And they were talking about the broccoli salad, and they were talking about the baked chicken, which was the main course. But all of them chose the liverwurst sandwich, and they loved it. They said the only complaint is that they wish it was bigger.
Wow.
Wow, they even loved the liverwurst sandwich. That's how good the food is here.
There's something I just thought of, and I'd be glad to come over to Harbor Place if you want. I can do a little mini seminar.
That would be
Basically
fun.
do it, and I can actually I have a projector and I can bring a laptop. And if you want, and you know, just be open kind of thing. And if you want to feed me a liverwurst sandwich, I'll do that. And so anyway, what it is AI today.
Uh,
And how, you know, the regulations or lack of regulations on AI. Now, if you go start looking at some of my sites, I have done massive amounts of AI marketing for Treasure Coast Advocate for Seniors and Great Scott Group. And I went in yesterday and trained the trainer at Keller Williams and did AI video for him.
Okay.
Okay. But the point is, it's scary that some of these apps and programs, while you're talking, like you right there, Candy, right?
Yes.
Everybody likes candy, by the way. That's a double meaning, you know, because I go to my cupboard and I also have candy there. So anyway, 30 seconds, they can get enough information to put a video together and do almost anything.
That's kind of scary in a way, but yeah.
And then they can get information off of ChatGPT. I do ChatGPT 4. They also have what they call as a pro. And I
Right.
do that. And I took and asked a question on ChatGPT 4. And I had done one prior to that. It was about seniors and marketing and all that. And I looked at it and I go, well, it's not working. Well, the point was it was already on multiple pages and I had to scroll down faster than I could scroll with a mouse. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
mean, it's fantastic, but at the same point, our seniors need to know what to look for. You know, like for instance, getting the voice when you get a phone call into your home. And you start asking, who is this? This is, and then you give your name and you're asking who they are. Well, they're getting a voice recognition from you.
Yeah.
So I'd love to come over there and help if you want me to come over and
I think that
I
would be
could show
fantastic.
them. I can show them that.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah, that's real scary. We were watching 60 Minutes and they had a whole AI segment with the reporter. And the reporter then was put into this AI machine, and you'd swear it was the real reporter. It was the AI version coming
Wow.
back. And oh yeah, no, it's a whole different world out there now. And which, as Tom just mentioned, it really means we've all got to be a lot more careful in getting our information out there. I mean, there's
Right.
no doubt about that. Yeah. Wow. Whew. Yeah. That, Tom, that's sobering. I mean,
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
that really is. It really is. Yeah. Wow.
That's a whole nother reason that I've taken to doing all this and learning over the last, I've had a tutor on that for about a month. So, and I've been at it working on it very, very hard. So you not only look at the marketing and produce marketing, which is fantastic because there's no oohs, ahs, issues. You don't have to edit because you can do it and make some changes and you can have captions, you can do whatever you want. But in the same token, you realize how this is all getting done and what could come across to you. And I'm not trying to scare anybody out there. I'm just saying, you know, you need to know. And as they say, you need to know, right? And you need to know what's happening out there and be careful. But the same token, some of the seniors there, it's not that hard to do some pretty simple stuff. And if they're trying to connect to their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, guess what? We could actually show them how to do it.
Right.
Teach them. So why not, right?
Exactly. We have a tech class that we have monthly for our residents. If they're having issues with like their computer or their phone or their tablet or Alexa device, you know, we try and troubleshoot and help them. But I think this would be extremely informative for them as well because they are, you know, back 20 years ago, our residents, well, not speaking of here, but in other communities I've worked in 20 years ago, it was a whole lot different. Technology has really, you know, advanced. And, you know, the residents, they didn't have a cell phone. They didn't have, you know, a tablet or a computer in their apartment or anything. So just seeing these residents that are, you know, advanced and, you know, they have their tablets and everything. It is refreshing, but it's also frustrating. They get frustrated when they're unable to troubleshoot the issues on their own. So that's why we do offer like a tech class. But I think this, what you what you're talking about, it will be extremely knowledgeable for them to, you know, attend that.
Yeah,
So we should definitely put something together soon.
yeah, we have, you know, a lot, even where I live right here, a lot of residents and, you know, that obviously will move on to a facility like yours, right?
Right.
And so doing those classes and stuff for them, will, you know, will educate them and making them comfortable with your location. And, you know, and of course, top, as they say, top of mind. So they're you know, always going to say, oh, wow, I went for a class here, or geez, I
Right.
talked to some of the residents and they talked about how they like the place and how Candy cooks and the good food and the liverwurst sandwiches that they make, but they're not doing enough, you know.
You know, there was one community that I cooked in several years ago. I was the executive director at another community, and I had a dietary director that was somehow they were afraid of ACA when ACA comes in and they you know, are doing their survey, and she's seen them and got intimidated. And I was brand new at this community. I was there for about a month. She walked out, she left, she was afraid. So I was in the kitchen cooking twice a week,
See, I must have knew that.
twice a week for a month for 2 meals, lunch and dinner. I was in there
Wow.
cooking. Yeah. And my good friend helped me as well because he used to, you know, have a restaurant, and he was actually one of our home health vendors.
Wow.
So we were in there cooking Tuesdays and Wednesdays, lunch and dinner. I knew I wasn't getting home
How
until
many
about
people?
10 o'clock. At that time, I think it was 112.
Ah,
Yeah.
my wife, when we have company over for a holiday, my wife thinks 12's a lot.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I didn't cry inside, but I did. I
You
did.
cried afterwards, right?
I cried inside and got it done because, you know, our residents, they needed to eat. So, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to
That's
roll up your
awesome.
sleeves and do it.
Yeah, people just don't realize what people do to help people, you know, and
Right.
if we talk more about that and people heard it, wouldn't it be a better world, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So again, we obviously our new audiences come in all the time. Events coming up at Harbor Place.
Oh, our events, February 12th, we have a sweetheart party for our assistant living community. And that is at 3:30 p.m. And then February 13th, we have a Sweetheart Valentine's Day party for our independent living community, and that is at 3:30 p.m. February 20th, we have Dr. Watson. He is going to speak to us about the aging process and Alzheimer's dementia, and that is at 2 p.m. on February the 20th. February 7th, we'll have a introduction of Dr. Norris, a podiatrist that will be servicing our residents here February 7th at 2 p.m.
Yeah, it's so important. You don't think about the feet, but they are so important in your life, and you've got to take care of them.
Especially diabetics, they have the worst
Oh,
results.
yeah.
When the residents, some of them are diabetics, and you know their foot problems, you know, can be life-changing to where, you know, if they're not cared for properly, then they can be amputated. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a friend going through that right now, and it's awful. I mean, there's no other way to describe it, you know.
sure.
Yeah, and and that's the other thing you touch on diabetes. I mean, that it seems like a disease that is just rampant now.
Oh yeah, my mother was a diabetic, and she had neuropathy in her feet. And she used to tell me that the pain was so bad that she'd rather them just chop it off, chop her foot off. That was her exact words, you
Mm.
know. And you know, my mother was, you know, in a nursing home. That's where she passed away. But she suffered with that neuropathy. It's because of her diabetes, you know, and you have a lot of seniors as well as just, you know, regular folks that's not in an assistant living or skilled nursing community, that they choose not to uh, eat properly. They choose not to adhere to their diabetic diet, and it makes it worse. You know, it makes it worse. It makes everything worse when you are not following the doctor's orders. But yeah, that's why I cannot wait to get this podiatrist in here. I'm excited. You know, the team is excited. I've introduced him already to the team. And so next month we will introduce him to our residents for a meet and greet.
Nice. That's going to be great.
Yeah, we'll have to get Tom over there, and I'll come on over, and then we'll do some of that. What is the drumming?
The handbells,
No, drumming.
drumming,
What are
the bongos.
no, not the bongos. It's the big ball thing, you know, and yeah.
Oh, chair. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of the activity.
Yeah. I mean that would,
With the chairs, with the yoga ball.
yeah, Tom
Oh, yeah.
I could do that. I mean that would
It might take two of us.
we'd be our own volleyball team. Oh my. Yeah. Well, you know, it's that's interesting. I'm fascinated the fact that you have town meetings, if you will, with your residents. Now, how often do you do that? I think that's a
Monthly.
good idea.
We do it monthly
Wow.
for each community. So for the IL independent living, we hold it monthly. And then for the assistant living, we do it monthly. And so we go and we talk about the prior month. We'll speak of their concerns, and we will address if those concerns have been corrected or not. And then we will talk about new business. And, you know, we have a food committee meeting as well, you know, and for the independent living, we have a food committee meeting for both buildings. And then we have a food committee board members, which are the residents. They will bring up things that, you know, they would like to see. So we have a lot of different groups, and we try and make sure that we hear our residents. So that's one thing that they enjoy, you know, like they'll come to the meeting, they'll be prepared. There's a president for the town hall meetings, and there is a president for the town hall meetings in the assistant living as well as a president for the dietary committee, food committee meeting, and as well as the board members of the food committee. It's a lot, but you know, it works.
Well, Tom will be involved in the liverwurst committee, and I'll be involved in the meatball committee.
Meatballs.
Yeah.
I
Let 'em
love-
know.
I
like
love
meatballs
meatballs.
too.
Me
We may have to
too.
share.
Yeah, we'll have to share those.
Oh yeah. Oh sure. You know, it's amazing when you start thinking of. I remember you had a resident who was from Spain, and she was talking about paella.
Oh, yeah.
And that, you know, and that was a request to have a paella night at Harbor Places years ago. But, you know, I thought it was so funny, you know, and you think, sure. And the various ethnic foods, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful.
The meatballs are my favorite.
Me too. Oh,
Yeah.
Me too. No doubt about it. So we got about 4 minutes left. What else is happening at Harbor Place?
We are having a Jensen Hughes. They're coming out this Friday. They are going to do a fire safety training with all the staff and residents. We will do a fire drill as well, and we will evacuate the entire building and time ourselves to see if we are in compliance. So that will be,
So you
I'm
have
sorry?
a time limit on that?
oh yeah. If there's a real fire, then, you know, we should be able to get our residents out the building under 15 minutes.
Wow. That's interesting. I remember back in the school days that we used to have fire drills, but I never thought of
You're to have them, in buildings like this, that are, that has sprinkler system, we're to have them 6 times a year.
Whoa.
And once on a shift where, on third shift, like in the middle of the night, we are to have one as well.
Oh, no.
So for buildings that aren't sprinkled, that do not have sprinkler systems, old buildings, then they are to have it 12 times a year on a monthly basis.
Oh my
So
goodness.
there's a ton of drills to do. We have elopement drills that we do where we, either have a resident, hide from us, and we all looking for them to see how long it takes to find that resident, or I'll hide an object and describe it to the staff and time them to see how soon they can find it. Because if we're looking for a resident, and I won't hide it inside, I'll go somewhere outside in the courtyard and hide it. That shows me that you've actually listened. You went outside to look for this resident or supposed resident.
Wow, that's stuff you never even think about. I mean,
Yeah.
never think about. Wow. Boy, that's well, you're on top of it. That's all I can say.
We have to be to keep our residents safe.
Wow, that's great. Well, Tom, the name of your group again, and how do we get in touch with you?
Okay, well, again, I've got 2 full-time jobs. One's a realtor running a team. Great Scott Group at Keller Williams of Port St. Lucie. We're right at the traffic circle of PGA there. And, we're on-site attorney. We have a mortgage company there. We've got staffing there. We have about 260 realtors in that one building. And
Oh,
I'm the president of Treasure Coast Advocate for Seniors, where we have monthly meetings, January through October, to Community Center on Oroso.